What's your tag and how long you been playing?
Yeah. Limecat, and I don't know how long I've been playing. I've been playing like on and off since 2016. Definitely taken like some breaks.
What's like your goal right now?
To beat this guy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
No, not specifically that. I think I just want to get better for like pound. I don't know what I want to do at pound, but I definitely want to like go hard that tournament.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah.
So what's like your thoughts on the matchup, like as it is right now?
Both characters can abuse crouch, but I have the unpopular opinion of thinking, one, I think Puff wins the matchup, but I think she can really abuse crouch in this matchup. And whoever the neutral goes pretty even for the most part, but then if Puff can get like a big rest punish, then like it just swings really in her favor. So it's like 60-40 without rest in Sheik's favor, but the rest is like huge. And Puff kind of wants to like play the zoning game with Bear and then try to get under with like an up air at some point, but I'm just like really bad at the latter part of that, as you'll see.
I don't think you need to talk about like what stages are good. I mean, I think you're good on that, but I can if you want. But
Talk on what? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Like the stages, like what stages to go to or whatever. But
you definitely like FD, and then Dreamland is kind of weird depending on how campy the Sheik is.
yeah, that's it for sure. It's definitely, if you lose the lead on Dreamland, the game is pretty much over. But that's like almost all Puff's matchups on Dreamland. If you lose the lead,
I got absolutely destroyed on Dreamland this tournament. This guy actually, I think I did the best on Dreamland versus him, but like every other game I went to Dreamland, it was against like Falco and Sheik. I got like 3-stocked.
It's definitely not as easy as it was to just pick Dreamland and just get a free win. I feel like, for sure.
Yeah. 2 years ago, Dreamland was the hot stuff. Now it's not as good.
Yeah, so about crouch, so I've said this like a few times, because I've done like a few lessons on this matchup, but essentially both characters would love to just like sit and crouch the whole entire game, but obviously that's like not how neutral ever works, because if someone's playing really obvious, then eventually you can just beat them or get a hard read on them. So that's just not how it works. But Sheik can abuse the fact that she doesn't want to play on the ground with the platforms, which you're having trouble with, and that's like kind of just to build damage, because Sheik should win the neutral and Puff should win the punish, so the more damage that she gets, the better that she is. So that's why she just abused the platforms, but risk reward wise it's probably still in your favor even if she's on the platform, but I'll just get into it. So I actually like your usage of Nair for the most part in this matchup. This was really good.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think there's some Nairs that you don't do that well, but your full hop Nairs are generally pretty strong. So it's like the idea behind full hop Nair is just like trying to tack on damage in a smart way, and eventually you can try and like Nair rest in some crazy situations, or try and like Nair into crouch. I think you understand Nair into crouch being like really strong in this matchup, but if you don't, then I can go into that. But yeah, it's like Nair into crouch, or just like aerial into crouch in general, is just so strong against Sheik, because she has no really good answer when you're crouching in a productive way. She has to fair you when you're crouching if she wants to get something productive started. So if you just Nair into crouch as like a default, when Sheik is facing you, you both have to be facing each other for Nair to work, because Sheik's back air is literally broken against Nair. There's no way you can hit a Nair when Sheik is like facing her back to you, so I like this Nair a lot. This is a good opener. So you do this a lot in neutral, like okay, that went pretty far back, I don't know why. Okay.
Yeah, the scuffed Twitch Vod.
Yeah, so you like you did this Wavedash here. You like cross up Sheik so much, but it's not really necessary in this situation. Like when Sheik is on a platform here, you either want to attack her from the side, or you want to up air from below. Like, I'm about to pull up this Hbox Vod of him just doing a really good, just like job of poking. Let me pull it up.
Down.
Like right here. So Hbox, like, okay, so in this situation, Hbox is like, oh man, I'm not really in a spot to actually challenge Sheik on a platform, because the way to beat this is you have to be horizontal to Sheik. So you have to be like on the platform and ready to either jump from her from above to hit her, or jump from her from like going down and then going up or something like that. That's like the main way you're supposed to beat Sheik on a platform. Or you actually had the situation on your side, you were underneath the platform, but in that situation you have to be directly underneath Sheik, and then you also have to have time to get an up air, or sometimes you just lose the situation entirely because Sheik just being too fast. So Hbox here isn't really committing that hard to actually hit Sheik. Like, if he tried to commit hard here, he would try and like drift, and then Sheik could just throw needles and then he'd just die. But Hbox realizes he doesn't have enough time to actually commit here, and then he does this really safe back air if like for some reason Swedish tries to jump here. So he doesn't commit at all. And then he's like, I have another situation. I actually don't like what Hbox does here. So this doesn't come up a lot in your games, but when you have a Sheik in this spot right here shielding, a lot of the time to beat them in this situation, you just back air their shield, and like 9 out of 10 times they'll just do a shield drop fair, and then you just sneak underneath them and falling up air, if that makes sense. It's like,
Yeah, I love doing that on Fox.
yeah, it's the same thing with Sheik, but it's even more potent. Like, it's because falling up air is so good against Sheik in the sense that it gets you a rest usually, but it's hard to set up. So there was actually a situation that comes up in the game, but let's talk more about the platforms like that. This time Hbox decides to actually commit because he knows he has enough time, because he's like, Swedish can't throw needles. He can throw needles right here, but like Hbox maybe gets hit, but he didn't expect it. But now that he knows he can't throw needles anymore, he just goes in and just intercepts, which is really good. I would have preferred Hbox to do it from a platform, but still the point is like pretty much the same. So it's just really about when you know you can actually hit the Sheik, you do an actual like really approach. But if you can't hit the Sheik, you can try and bait out like a really safe movement, like just like a jump or like a dash off the platform like Hbox is right there. So that's like the main way to deal with the put. So that's I was actually, so I knew this was coming up in the game. So yeah, this is like a really, yeah, it goes so far back for no reason. Oh, it starts like 5 seconds. That's why I have to go so far back. I was really confused. I was like, I swear it keeps going really far back. But yeah, so this fair is okay because it's a shield poke. That was fine. But this falling up air never works. This is like a pretty ingrained habit I've seen a lot from Puffs. It's kind of like, I don't know where in the cycle of improvement like this gets ingrained, but just do not do this. This is never going to work against like a good Sheik anymore. So it's like she can either crouch here or shield, and then both are just going to beat your up air. And she has no reason to jump when she just lands on the ground, because when Sheik lands on the ground, she doesn't want to jump again, because she already risked her stock by being in the air, because she could have gotten up aired. So she's going to want to like not risk her stock again by jumping for no reason to get out of the situation. Because she jumps here, like she gets hit by the up air, and then like, what did she like actually gain by trying to jump? You know what I mean? Because like if she jumps, like you're still attacking her, and she can't throw out an aerial before you can hit her. Even with like horrible reaction time, you can still just like jump up and hit her, even if this falling up air doesn't hit or something like that, or you don't go for it. So when Sheik lands, she does not want to jump again. So this falling up air like never really works. So it's like always gonna get shielded, or but what you can do instead here is you can land behind Sheik and grab. You can also land in front of her shield with like, you can still technically do this falling up air and then do an aerial in the crouch. So like you space it over here and you crouch in the front of her shield, and then she can't do anything again, like I said. So she would have to like try and jump and then fair, which you could try and hard re with an up air, or you could try and like Wavedash back, which covers also just like them trying to do something out of shield, and then like forward smash, which is also very good. So yeah, that's basically what you do in that spot. But so that's what I was talking about with the cross up. You do this with the short out Nair is something I don't like about what you do, because short out Nair doesn't get you anything in most matchups, so especially against Sheik. It's like you get the short out Nair and then like you get behind her, which is cool, but if you just like landed in front of her and then just aerial crouched, it'll come up in a second, but it's just like so much better of a situation than landing behind her if you're like not going to actually get anything off of it. If she was like crouching here, then yeah, landing behind her is better because her crouch is really good against Puff, obviously, like I was saying earlier. So in order to beat crouch, you mostly have to land behind the Sheik. Is basically how it works. But so that's why I was talking about the Nair being in front. It's pretty good because you don't for some reason you just like, do you use Uncle Punch a lot?
Not really.
I would recommend just going into the reversal training mode in Uncle Punch and then just labbing out aerial into crouch and then just doing this versus the Sheik on the front of Sheik and resting this down smash here, because this happens like, oh my god, I don't know how many times in this set, but it was probably at least 8, and that's 8 stocks that you could just take with just like, you can either jump rest, you can walk up rest, wave dash rest, like there's like 3 different ways to like muscle memory it into your brain to like rest here, because getting a forward air is just like horrible, because if you forward air, if Luca Damus is better, you could just literally hold down tech, go to ledge, and not even have a chance to get reversaled.
Yeah, I have Uncle Punch that situation to get that forward air.
Yeah,
that's one of the only things I do Uncle Punch is actually Sheik down smash, and I was like, all right, I'm finally good enough to hit forward air, because before I was like down smash into getting shielded.
Yeah, so definitely just down.
I need to take it a step farther.
Down smash into get aroused is so OP against like. Once you get to a certain point, the Sheiks will kind of expect this and not do a down smash anymore. But until you get to like, I don't even know what would be the next level. Like even, I would probably say Plop would never get hit by this, but like anyone below Plop will get hit by this. So Nair is a good choice to use the aerial crouch into. I would say up air is the worst move to use it. Back air and forward air are pretty bad too. My biggest favorite one to do in this matchup is down air. So if you just do down air, technically before like 50%-ish, Sheik should be able to just like get out of your down air without having to use a down smash, because if she uses jab out of your down air below 50, because it doesn't have like frame advantage, so she doesn't have to like spot dodge or roll, like, which is what they have to do high percents to get out of like dare grab and stuff. So she could just like jab out of your down air, but none of them do that. So you could just like down air Sheik and then aerial crouch, and then they'll down smash every time, then you just jump wrist, and then it is so free. The matchup becomes way easier if you just like abuse the fact that Sheiks will just try and CC down smash everything in the world, and it is insane when you just works, because like I said, you're not really risking much when you just like do aerial crouch in general, because they have to jump and hit you with a forward air, or they have to like, if you're above CC percent, which I'm pretty sure is like 54, something like that, I can look that up, but if you're above percent, then yeah, you have to shield, and then you have to like jump out of shield or wave dash, so it's a little bit tighter timing, and then they have like mix-ups in that situation where they can just like grab you instead of, you know, going for the down smash. But yeah, it's really necessary for sure. And also like the reason why you want to face in front, because if you're facing behind, you cannot get a rest on the down smash. Like if Sheik's back,
oh, it matters.
Yeah, it matters. That's why I was saying the cross up behind on that one was really bad, because if Sheik did down smash, then you couldn't actually get a rest there. So you always want to have Sheik facing you when she goes to the down smash, because their legs like flip up, and then that allows you to jump and rest.
That would explain why I was not getting it consistently.
Yeah, you can sometimes get like a forward smash on those ones, but if you can never get a rest like percentage wise, but even then you should always rest regardless. But forward smash is like next best like option. Grab is fine too, but forward smash is better. Nice to get a free stock for no reason.
Yes, he's like twice this game and I still lose. It's so bad.
Nah, you win. I think you win this game. I
No.
didn't. Okay. Alright, and there is fine, but you crossed her up again. It was kind of like no reason. It was just like the same thing, but forward tilt flare is just gonna happen. Like I was saying, when Sheik lands, she's gonna want to do something that's not jump. And if she's not in like danger of getting hit, she's either gonna want to run at you and try and take space, or she's going to want to do a forward tilt is her main one. Down smash sometimes, but usually she wants to get hit first. So in order to beat that, you have to just like recognize when you want to whiff punish Sheik. It's kind of different depending on which Sheik you're playing against. Sometimes it's easier to whiff punish a certain way than another way. But so Sheik, when she jumps and she does an early fair, you'd want to whiff punish her like while she touches the ground with a fair, which is one way to beat that. You can whiff punish her by trying to hit the jump like a hard read on up air. You can hit what she does after from landing if you aren't confident in hitting the landing, which is probably the hardest like whiff punish against Sheik. You can like be like, oh, Sheik is gonna forward tilt here after doing the fair because she thinks I'm gonna come in and try and whiff punish her, and then you just wait out the forward tilt. And you could probably either, if you're in range, you can try and crouch cancel forward smash, crouch cancel grab it. Crouch cancel grab is just better as a default, but you can try and do that. You can try and just like jump back here after the forward tilt comes out, which is pretty fast. You have to have good recognition in that spot, but that's like how you beat aerials. And then if it's like a late aerial, you can still try and read the jump with like an up air. But then if you notice that they're doing a late aerial, you can pound late aerials a lot of the time. That's like the main way you can get a pound. And then you can also just try and beat them like air to air before the hitbox even comes out is another way to beat it. And then you have the other options. So generally it's like, I prefer, it depends on the Sheik, but I prefer to hit them while they're in the air most of the time, because they do a lot of late aerials. That's just how Sheik works most of the time. Or I like to hit them after they do their forward tilts or whatever. Usually I don't hit the landing option, but sometimes you want to hit the landing option with like a back air. It's the best way to hit it with for sure. Okay, get hit by needles. You cross her up. She could have actually hit you here, but I think he just misinputted. I think he didn't really need to do this, because I think he just jumps out shield back here, so you hit every time here. Yeah, this pound, like I was saying, doesn't really like make sense if it's not going to be beating a light aerial. So just keep that in mind. So the corner against Sheik, when you're cornered, it feels really bad, but honestly, it makes the gameplay very linear. So Sheik in this position wants to forward air you here. I just don't assume he's on this platform. It doesn't really make sense for me on the top platform, because you can actually escape here a lot easier, because if he tries to fair here, you can just jump away, then jump over him, and then you're back in center. So this is just done by him. But assume he's on like a side platform here or right here. So Sheik really wants to hit a forward air against you because of the angle. If you don't like tech to ledge or something like that, which is a little bit niche, then you're just going to be flying off stage, and then she can set up an edge guard sequence. And then like she wants to either forward air you, and then since you want to get out of the forward air, you want to shield it. Usually she'll try and grab you. So those are her two really main mix-ups in the corner. She does forward air and grab interchangeably. Sometimes she'll spam back air when you're in the corner, but that's horrible because you're not threatening a grab when you throw for a back air, whereas if you try and like jump and fair, you still have the opportunity to go for a grab after. So if you ever see a Sheik just like jumping and back airing, just go just like hate her for doing it. It's just really like, it's very obvious, I would say, and it's just not really worth it's not really worth it to do for Sheik. But yeah, so they're either gonna forward air here or grab. So the way to beat forward air is either wave dash back. You can cross her up with the wave dash as well. It's a little bit riskier, but it depends on the situation. Or you can try and jump over them, usually over the platform, and then try and cross them up. And you don't have to even hit them. But overall, like, you have to take your time out of the corner against every character with Puff, but even against Sheik, which doesn't really seem like the risk is that high, unless you're at like 110. You still like earn risk percent at every percent against Sheik, because you just don't want to take damage, because that's what they want. And then they go back to their camping, and then they just get a free stock. So it's basically how you beat the corner. Okay, you just had a free rest thing.
Yeah, that air dodge was me trying to up air and finishing.
Gotcha.
I was like wave dashing. I was like up air time, but I already hit the wave dash I'd put.
Yeah. Roll the greedy guy out of the corner here. Okay, so I do not like this range at all. I want to show Hungrybox just playing a range. So against Sheik, you don't really want to be far away from her. Like, this is way too far out of Sheik's range, because if you're over here, Sheik is just going to try and take space on you and then set up a corner situation, which, like I said, even though, like, it is really only two things you're worrying about in the corner, those two things, like, are very difficult. So right here, like, I would say he's a little bit too close, but this is, like, right here, let's assume his character model's a little bit over here. This is, like, perfect range for Sheik Puff. You want to be close enough to be able to, like, land on top of her or land behind her, because if you're too far away, you can never actually land behind her, and then that's, like, the main way to beat crouch in my head. That's how I do it. You just land behind her and then just grab her, because she has nothing to do when you're behind her besides down smash, and you can just shield that. But, or, like, crouch it, and then, like, you can just grab it as well too. So you just always want to, like, try and land behind her to beat crouch, and then if she's, like, shielding or whatever, you can just land on the front of her shield, and then she can't like, forward air you. So it's like, you want to have the opportunity to actually land on top of Sheik, and if you're too far away, you can never actually land on top of her, so you're never threatening any of your crazy stuff, like reading jumps, or, like, shield poke up tilt, or grabbing her down throw onto the platform. Like, you're never actually threatening anything crazy, you're just threatening the fact that you can back her. And then randomly, like, let's say she jumps crazy, and then, like, you're over here, and they're like, oh, sweet, falling up air into rest. Like, that's, like, the reason why it's, like, not really productive to be too far away, because you're not actually gaining much. Whereas, like Peach Puff or something like that, or, like, Mario Puff or something, like, yeah, it's better to be farther away, because the risk reward of approaching is less in your favor than it is in this matchup. I'm not saying to just blindly approach, but it's just about keeping this range. Hungrybox kind of escapes the range, it's not good here. She goes onto the platform, then he's like, I can't approach it, so, you know, he just drops down to the ground. Because if you knew, because you can't just blindly jump to the side platform. Well, I should have said this earlier, but you can't blindly jump to the side platform when Sheik is on the platform, because she'll just throw needles at you, and then that's not great. So you have to mix up your timing. So
yeah, I got hit by so many of those needles.
Yeah. It's like, when that happens, either you should just be wave dashing on the side platform as a mix up there to try and upper them, or you should just be like doing what Hungrybox did, where he's like, oh, I'm gonna jump up and then I'm gonna jump back down. So yeah, Hungrybox here, he loses the range again, but, like, immediately he's already, like, back into trying hitting Swedish very close to him the entire time.
Got it. So get close to them, because, like, that's where all your scary stuff kind of comes from in your big punishes.
Yeah, like, Hungrybox is never, like, he's never over here. He's always like, this is too far, but he's dash back, so it's understandable. Like, he's always, like, this distance when he wants to actually try and do something, which is really good. So yeah, because sometimes you try and just, like, how do I say it? You just, like, kind of, like, blindly try and just, like, and be like, I'm just gonna stuff Sheik right now, but without, like, actually just, like, you just, like, either go really, really fast into her, or you try and cross her up or something crazy, where you, like, are very far away, so you're never, like, in the perfect, like, sweet spot range, like, right this. So. Okay, that was kind of just random. Like I was saying, you could just, like, tomahawk and, like, land on a shield there, which is fine too. Yeah, that's the reason why the back of Downsmash is so good, because you can do anything there, really. Okay. This Nair is fine. Since you shielded it, this is okay. This down air is technically fine too. This Nair is really weird. I like it's not like short up Nair that much in this matchup, but it, like, technically works here. But doing an up tilt after is not good. So, like, this is another bad, like, habit. Like, don't just, like, when you hit, like, when you go for a Nair, just don't, like, blindly click, like, up tilt or grab or, like, or forward smash or something like that. You have to actually, like, look at the screen a little bit Like there's some situations against Sheik you don't actually have to look at the screen. What I mean by that is like you can just like click your mix up and it should work enough of the time, but like Nair stuff like that is pretty common to have happen in every matchup where you just like go for it and it'll just like never work. So in that situation, I would just recognize, oh, I landed like right next to Sheik in like a productive way, and I have to like look at what my character is like in relation to her, and then I would be like, oh, I can get a grab here, and then if I was like in front of her shield, which like I was saying, like try to not cross her up as much if you're not going to try and go for a grab. Like if you're in front of her shield, then maybe you could have gone up for that up tilt, but you just have to be like another fair falling up her again too. It's like that one's a little bit more fine because of the percents, like risk reward wise, but still it's never gonna really hit if you aren't setting it up like a back here falling up here. Okay, you just get hit. You tried to whiff punish, so it's not that really bad. Like as long as you're trying to whiff punish something, then it's like it's fine to get hit like that. Like that's what I was saying about the ranges. That was fine completely. This fair never really works. Try not to do these full hop fairs in neutral at all. The reason why fair is okay against Sheik because if you hit it when she's airborne, then you get a stock usually. But the flip side of that, she's gonna be crouching a lot in neutral, so these fairs just don't work. Whereas if you like back here, instead you have the opportunity to actually drift away in a productive way. Whereas in this one, Sheik actually just jumps into it, but if he was playing the game properly, he could have just sat and crouch and then waited for you to drift over here or drift over here and then just forward air to each direction, and then you were just done. Okay, this was really good. Yeah, it's like knew she couldn't really hit you at this angle, so you're fine. And then you try and immediately intercept, and then once you get hit by the intercept, you're like, okay, I'm gonna try and strike you from below, which is pretty fine too. And you crouch in the anticipation. Actually, this crouch is bad. Never mind. I didn't see the crouch part. Don't crouch here because Sheik should just shield drop fair you after doing the needles. That's like their entire purpose of getting a needles. It's also to build damage if you're too far away. But if they get a needle, obviously they're gonna try and fair you. So just try not to crouch there. I would have just like. In that situation, maybe, like, I would have probably either wave dash back to try and hit the fair with the forward smash. That's what I was talking about, like, eyes closed movement. Like, a lot of the time, Sheik will just do these very obvious, like, forward airs or back airs, and then those are the situations you can just wave dash past them, and then just forward smash them for doing that kind of movement, which is really good. Because risk reward on forward smash is always in your favor, pretty much, in this matchup. Unless it's on shield, then usually it's not. Because a lot of the times it's just gonna not work. They're just gonna expect it. Like that, like that back air spacing was pretty good. You just didn't recognize. Oh wait, I actually did want to talk about the situation. Okay. So you hit this back air right here, and so what I was talking about earlier on the ledge, it's like it's 2022 now, so a lot of the times when people get hit. When they're out of percentage, either they can cross cancel or they can just like not get into knockdown. So it's like 77. So back air is definitely knocking down at this point. They're just gonna like hold down the entire time in this.
I know, it's so annoying, dude. New on ranked, I like can't combo anyone.
Yeah. So when you notice, it's not even really when you notice anymore. It's kind of like you have to expect the person to hold down when they get hit by your back airs and stuff now. So in this position, I would be like, okay, I hit Sheik with a back air here, and she wasn't really in the air without a double jump, so I can't get another back air. And I'm like, okay, what's the tech chase? That's what I'm thinking in my head here. He lands on the platform and rolls away, so I was like, okay, that's cool too. You get another back air. It doesn't hit, but I'm just gonna pretend in this situation it does hit. You go for this back air right here. That ends. It doesn't really like make sense a lot of the time. You have to just land and then just like cover their option, just like roll. Like if they roll in, you can just try and rest it. If they
This is probably like my biggest neutral lose, not in this set but my other set versus Lincoln, who's also a Sheik, is I lose to this roll in like down smash.
Yeah,
literally like that was like half his damage on me was from that.
It's definitely like you had to pretend that was like you knocked him down with a back air, because that's basically what he was like. What it was like the same exact situation. Like he was holding down, trying to get off the platform, and then he just rolls in. It's just like he was like in a tech situation because.
Yeah. So this back air that I'm doing right now is just like useless. Just don't do it.
Yeah, it will never like. The same thing would have happened in a tech situation, like you backered once and then you backered again. It's basically the same thing over here where he landed on the platform. It's you just have to cover their option. You can't get two backers anymore. You have to just go for the one backer and then be like, okay, he's gonna roll this time or he's going to roll away, like something like that. Yeah. It's like it's like aerial falling aerial, just like it's not a thing anymore. Okay, it's a little bit awkward, neutral. Like, no really general thoughts about this. This fair is not good out of the corner. Like I was saying, just don't, like, try and backer your way out of the corner, ideally, and take your time. But these kinds of fairs always lead into weak fair, which, if the Sheik is playing good, they should be able to hit you for doing a weak fair every time. So, that's very important to not do. I like this taking time here. You could have actually gotten out if you like Wavedash past her here, but you stay in the corner. It's not bad overall. This cross-up back here does not really. It's okay. I'm not saying it's horrible because I think it was really hard to punish it, so it's okay. This fair was okay. This Nair works because you can just aerial crouch again.
Dude, look how quick he grabs me off of this.
Yeah.
I didn't know you this good. What is that? I've never seen that.
Sheik's up tilt is just like, you cannot actually... You have to like shield grab in between the hits when you're shielding Sheik's up tilt. That's like one of the ways to beat it. You kind of like, when you're crouch canceling it, it's not really something you can crouch cancel easily. So when Sheik's doing an up tilt, they're gonna always just like, they're gonna up tilt again, or they're gonna try and grab you out of it. That's like just their default. So in this situation, I would have been like, oh, Sheik is like up tilting the wrong way. I'm just gonna try and grab them for this one, but even your grab would have been hard. A good default is, instead of doing that, it's just wave dash away and then just like reset the situation, because maybe after doing the forward tilt, they're like, oh, you know what, I'm going to try and jump and try and hit him with a back air. And then you do the wave dash away and close your eyes and forward smash again. And then you just like, you get free forward smash for fun. So, yeah, it's just like, up tilt is something that's very hard to punish in general. Unless you're shield grabbing the in between the hits, or like back airing what they do after, it's pretty much the only ways to beat it. Or the wave dash is pretty nice in general. A lot of the times in a lot of pup matchups, if you just like wave dash away when you're uncertain of like what is the correct option, you're fine, because usually you're gonna wave dash against Sheik, you're gonna be keeping the range. Usually you're not gonna be wave dashing so far away from the range that it's gonna be bad. So you're gonna keep the range, then you can just like kind of look at the situation in a different perspective. It's always just good to just do that. And then again, it's a hard time to beat your crouch anyways, so it's not like you're risking much by wave dashing away. You just get faired there. You kind of just like dash dance for literally no reason. And that's just, you just can't do really like wasted inputs with buff. It just doesn't really work. You can kind of get away with it more than Fox, but it's still not great to just like do a random dash dance. Like wave dash back is just always better. Nice. I mean,
that's team number 2.
Yeah, it's whatever. I like the fact that you rested there instead of doing anything else. It's always just best to rest. You don't take this philosophy every game, but I was happy to do it there. Okay. Wow, you actually, this was really good. You were threatening a lot here, subliminally. So the reason why right here, Sheik is trying to shield right here, or she crouches first and then she shields. This is such a common setup that Sheiks do. They like try and like hit you and they're like, oh no, I messed up and I'm gonna try and shield, or I'm gonna try and crouch. This time they pick shield because they don't want to take damage for no reason, because they figure they're gonna do like a backer here. This is kind of a level 1. So the backer here is like a level 1. And you went for the level 2, which is really good. I don't even know if you were able to go... Like, a lot of the times you can kind of skip level 1 with a backer here. Because Sheiks have played against enough Jigglypuffs at this point that they're like, okay, he's going to backer here every time. And I'm going to just start to shield until they show me that they're going to grab here. So I would have landed behind him, like I said earlier. Or in this spot, like, just Tomahawk up tilt would have been great too, because it would have shield poked a lot of the time. I actually don't know if it knocks down at 11. I think it knocks down at, 9. I think it knocks down at 11. But regardless, you could have probably gotten up tilt, and then res. So it's not really that much of a different, like, sequence. So that would have been really good. You just, like, kind of got the right mix-up. You just did nothing. Like, if you just grabbed, like, turn around grab, or even landed behind or grabbed, or up tilted were really good. Because you already threatened backer enough to go for the level 2. That's usually how it works against Sheik and against Marth. A lot of the mid weights and like the floaties, it's kind of like backers level 1, then you get from level 2 from there. Okay. That's just good by the Sheik. Wow. Okay. There is like, again, that's the thing of when Sheik is just landed, she's not gonna want to like jump again, especially when you're cornered. She doesn't want to just like jump if you're still in the air, especially if you were on the ground. This is a little bit different, but you were still in the air, so she's not gonna just want to jump into you and let you just try and forward her or upper her for no reason. You're just out of the range, and then you try and attack from really far away. So you should have gotten needle there. I don't know why you didn't. I guess it was something weird with Fountain. You actually had the opportunity to hit her, which is crazy. You like drifted back because you didn't trust something here, but if you just kept drifting with her, because you jump over her and you barely escaped the needles that should have came out and hit you, but you're gonna definitely just hit her again for jumping here. And then you try and go for this crazy angle. Don't really go past the top platform when doing this. Try and hitting her on the platform, because then she'll just run off the platform and then just take center on you. And then when Sheik is below you, that is horrible. And then the inverse, when you're above Sheik, it's horrible. But the platform, obviously, it breaks that. But at the same time, it's like I was saying, it's not like 100% winning situation when Sheik is on a platform. It's just a way to build damage and in a safer manner. That grab is really good. I like this grab a lot. So this is just a common like grab setup against Sheik and Marth too. You just go for a back air at really low percent. They're gonna shield us every time. Actually, he rolls, which is crazy that you even get this grab. I don't know how. Like you must have hard to read here or something. This was pretty crazy. But a lot of the times they're just gonna shield in that spot, and then you can just turn around, grab, and then just catch them. But it's crazy that he rolled and he somehow knew that was gonna happen. That is something I've never seen before. Okay, so when you have the corner against Sheik, this is probably the only time this has come up in a productive way. Alright, so you forward throw Sheik, she goes to the ledge because you see that low damage. That's fine. And this is good for you now because you have the corner. So the way to actually get the most out of this is not to go for back airs, because like I was saying, 2022, they're just gonna hold down, go to ledge, and then it's just a reset situation. You get damage, yeah, but like the Puff, man, Puff doesn't really want to get damage. She wants to get like a grab or an up air, or like a good back air when she's jumping, or like a tomahawk up tilt, a Wavedash Fsmash. Like she wants like big, like meaty kills, whereas like Sheik is down for the damage, and then eventually her forward air will kill because she has better neutral than Puff. So going for this back air doesn't really make sense. You want to always just try and grab instead of doing these back airs, because they can't hold down on your grab. They're gonna go flying off stage. At this percent, if you forward throw, she shouldn't be able to grab ledge like the last time, because if you grabbed her right here, she was not be able to do this instead of trying to catch the roll in or something like this. You get arrested this too, but it's fine. It's fine that you grab. It's not like the worst thing. Because now right here, oh yeah, Sheik, when she's off stage, she can do these kinds of mix-ups. The way to beat this is it's kind of, you have to know what Sheik you're playing against. You have to know what their defaults are. So if Sheik's level 1 mix-up here is to try and go for this up air to beat you trying to hit her, you just wait out the up air, just wait right here, and be like, oh, he just gave me ledge for free, when he could have actually tried to snap to ledge, which is what your back air was trying to cover. So sometimes their level 1 mix-up is trying to do this up air to cover their ledge. So in that situation, you just wait here, wave dash back, grab ledge, and then you have a free edge guard. I think you understand like the edge guard timing, but since we haven't gotten the real edge guard, I can't really explain it. But if you want me to explain it, I can as well when we get there. But yeah, so in that spot, the level 1 for Sheik was just up air ledge. So just wait, and then just wave dash back grab ledge. If they're trying to forward air ledge, it's the same exact thing. Sometimes if they do a forward air, you can back air it out of the air. You cannot back air them when they are on like a little bit of stage, because then they can hold down tech. Yeah, so it's more about knowing what like the Sheik wants to go for, and then once you punish it enough, then you can go to level 2. If you notice, they're gonna start mixing it up, but a lot of the times they'll just do that same up air or do a forward air there every time to cover themselves going from ledge is mostly the default for Sheiks. So you just wait it out. Okay, so recovering and Sheik, you don't have that many jumps here, but it's still applicable to talk about. So how it works is essentially, I'm gonna put him on the platform. Why is he on ledge? Okay, go to the platform. Darn, he does not go to the platform. This is really weird move by him, and it's actually wasn't really a real edge guard, but I'm gonna.
I should have just gone high here.
Yes, this was not great. So I'm gonna put him on the platform right here. So Sheik is on the platform facing you. This pound didn't really make sense. You can't really get hit here, and the only way you get hit here, honestly, is he runs off stage and then sees you pounding, and maybe goes for like a really deep forward air. You can maybe hit this because if he reacts in time. But the thing about the edge guard is, I'm gonna put Sheik on the platform here, and she's gonna be facing you. So when she's facing you, she's trying to forward air. So forward air covers this. So when she's facing you, you want to go like this. You want to either go directly into her, or you want to go above her slightly. Because if you go down to the ledge, then she hits you with forward air, or she needles, and then she forward airs again. So it's like literally like you're on a platform trying to recover against her. You do not want to go at this angle. But if she's turned around, then the threat zone just changes completely. Then it's like you don't want to go this way, or you don't, because her back air is going to be like this. So it's kind of like she goes like this, and then like her back air is kind of like this. So it's like she covers like these two zones, but she has to be facing the direction to get the right like aerial. So if she's facing you, just start going at her like this. She turns around, then just go to ledge, because she can't cover the ledge with her back air. And the only way she covers the ledge with her back air, if she hard commits, she like tries to jump here and back air like right here. She has to hard commit to do that, and then if you notice, the Sheik is getting a little bit too fancy with their edge guard, like kind of like this one, honestly. Like right here, like this is crazy that he's going for like this kind of movement. Again, like you said, you could have just jumped over because Sheik was facing you, so jumping over is good. But sometimes you can also just pound them for doing this kind of like ridiculous movement, and then just kill them for free. That's like the risk that she takes when she edge guards if she doesn't do it correctly. If she does it too safe, then she won't get a hit. If she does it too aggressively, then she can get pounded and dead. So always just keep that in mind. So when she's facing you, try and go over her or go like through her. And if she's facing away from you, she's trying to backer you, and then just go low to the ledge or like land on stage a little bit. That's like, because a lot of free damage just gets hit by getting hit by the fair, getting hit by the back air, and then like let's say you get back to stage, you take 40%. That's horrible. Like best case scenario, every time you should take 0%, but that's a little bit easier than said than done for sure against great Sheiks. That was just really weird. I don't know why he did that. Like ledge hop needle, it's awkward. Oh, you just messed up your drift here. That was perfect. That was really good movement to try and hit her. But I do like the fact that you went for drill here. Just I don't know. I don't know how comfortable you are with drill though. It's something you kind of have to like lab, you know, punch.
So when you said I really like your drift here, like what was I doing wrong? That looked bad to me. I just
what this? Let me see.
There's a thing where I got like under them and up or.
Yeah, I'm not. That's the part I was saying was bad. Was okay. So this was bad. This was bad. This was whatever. Okay. So right here. So you're on the ground here. You cannot. You realize you don't want to jump in the needles, so you just go away. You take the platform and you realize that you can actually start trying to approach. You don't go. You realize that you aren't gonna be able to hit her in time. So, oh, you actually try and hit her. Dang, that was bad. Never mind.
Okay.
I thought you were a little bit higher when the needles came out, because if you were, you could actually just try to jump back right here. So, yeah, You could have probably gotten an up air here if you were better with your fastball, but it was fine to also just like do this up air and drift away. Hungry Bucks does this a lot too. This is fine. So yeah, so I was talking about drill. Drill is really important to close out the high damage. Because like I was saying, if you back your them, they're just going to hold down, go to ledge, and then you have to play the corner game again. Which is good for you, but you have to edge guard them eventually, right? Whereas if you try and drill them, you actually don't have to edge guard them. You can just try and down air into wrist. That's something I would lab out in Uncle Punch. It's really important against Sheik, I think. Or at least in the future. Right now, maybe it's not, but personally I've won too many games and sets with down air to rest at this point. It starts comboing around 70. And then, which is actually earlier than grab and forward smash.
No way, that's so early.
Yeah, you have to get the like the tumble animation when Sheik's like legs are twirling to get it around 70. But at higher percents, sometimes you don't even have to get that animation. So it's very good to start just spamming down air at that percent. Honestly, I just spam it at every percent because, like I was saying earlier, because they don't jab at lower percents yet. And then once it gets to like 50, then you can just start doing like down air. And then they have to spot dodge, because if they don't spot dodge, they're going to get grabbed. So I just start down airing around 50 and then just reading their spot dodge and resting it. It's the Michael, but it's really, really, really good. So down air is just like OP against crouch in general. And then at higher percents, it's like a necessity to close out stocks almost. Unless you want to try and forward throw them at edge guard. But you have to be perfect in your edge guard every time, or it's not going to be really that great for you. But yeah, down air into Raz, something you have to lab out. Down air forward smash is also pretty good against Sheik too. I don't really do that much. Usually I just do another down air into up smash. Usually you can just get multiple against Sheik. It's one of those characters that's like, it's not that great to just only go for one movement. This was the situation you can actually just click brain dead forward smash. It would have been pretty good here. This was, like I said, this wasn't great. You tried to punish the forward tilt up tilt directly, so you're gonna get punished for it. If you just wave dashed away and then just like reset the situation, you could have probably just gotten a punish on the down smash that came after. So Sheik just goes for a crazy forward air here. That's not what I was really talking about, but that was insane that he went for that. You could have probably punished it if you were paying attention a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter that much. But right here, so for some reason, he's like super uber scared of you for no reason there. You wave dash away, you could have reassessed the situation here. You realize he's in the air. You wave dash again for, I don't know why you wave dash again. If you just wave dashed the first time, then clicked forward smash at the right time, you can just trade with this this down air and then just hit him for it. But you do a back air. It's not the worst. Again, that's a way to whiff punish Sheik. So you got the whiff punish, but you could have whiff punished with, even after the second wave dash, you could have gotten the forward smash. So I would just try and do wave dash forward smash rather than doing these kinds of like back airs to whiff punish when Sheik is really high coming down with Nair overall. Because that's like how you close out stocks without doing down air or without doing edge guard.
Got it.
Okay, yeah, this confused.
It works. It works.
Oh my god. I was like, oh nice, he knows the edge guard really good because he got up right at the right timing. This is perfect. So I was like, nice. Free kill here, and then you just like run and then up smash. I was like, dang. So like I was saying earlier, just literally click the rest every time. Because a lot of times they're gonna die off the top. So there's no reason not to click the rest. So just click the rest and then move on to the next one, and it's all good. Sometimes though, it'll come up in the Dreamland game, or maybe it was a Yoshi's game. But yeah, that was like not great. Just rest there every time, except for very nuanced situations. Okay, Sheik is back in here. You keep the range, which is good. You're on the ground, which is better. Sheik forward tilts here because she doesn't want to jump again, so that's great. Because you were too far. You weren't far enough away for her to start dashing, so she's gonna want to try and do a forward tilt rather than doing a dash at you, because you're keeping the range overall. Okay, when you get to like this percent, Sheik just starts spamming down tilt, and that seems like the most annoying move in the game sometimes. You actually you barely missed the punish on that forward tilt, by the way. That was just good. You just messed up slightly. This back air was good. And then this is where they start just throwing out down tilts. So to beat down tilt, crouch cancel grab is the main way to beat it. It works for a surprisingly long enough time. I'm gonna pull up the actual percents really quickly.
Say 95.
93, very close. Yeah. So once you get to 93, then you're gonna be scared of down tilt again. But before then, they're gonna start throwing it out around 70. Like even earlier, moving 60, they're gonna start throwing out because they want to get down tilt up air, down tilt fair for damage. So just always be ready to just aerial crouch when they're crouching, especially when they're crouching, because that's like the main way to get damage. But just aerial crouch it and then just hold down and then just be ready to crouch cancel grab. You just lab that knuckle punch a bunch so you can just get used to the timing and everything, and then you have to do it against people in game, then you can do it in tournament. So it's just a long process, but once you get this muscle memory ingrained, then you can just start getting a kill off a grab, which is like, it's hard to get the tech chase. I will say I'm not great at it, but if you get it once out of like 4 attempts, that's a stock, like just for winning a neutral situation like a down tilt. Like that's crazy. So I definitely like down tilt is not even that good if you can just crouch cancel grab it, which is like the main way to beat it. The other way to beat down tilt is to just like space far enough away and then try and do a really safe low back air to try and beat it, but you have to be really well like tight in your spacing, which is why just crouch cancel grabbing is better. You could down air the down tilt as well too, but it's a little bit weird that usually when you're at a high percent, you don't really want to down air that much because then you can't do a down air into crouch setup. But you can just do down air into shield, which is still a little bit scarier. But once you're at like 50-ish, then you can just start down airing the when Sheik is at 50-ish, I mean. Then you can start down airing the down tilt, and then you can just do the resting on the spot dodge or resting on the roll or whatever, which is good too. That's like the main way you beat down tilt. That's probably her like scariest move when you're high percent. Everything else is kind of like I get hit by a random fair and that sucks. Bad pound again, but I already talked about that.
Yeah, my pounds suck in this matchup apparently.
Yeah, it's not even that really a good move. Like I was saying, it's just only really good against late aerials, especially late fair. It's just such a greedy move that it's reactable in every matchup, but especially in this one, it's very easy to punish for Sheik. Right here, I like this Wavedash way. This is perfect. That's what I was talking about earlier with the Wavedash in the corner. But you try and like run up, grab a down tilt, which is just like never really going to work. So what I would have done instead here is he let you out of the corner for free, pretty much. Like you do a Wavedash here, and then you have the option to start jumping and trying to backer your way out, like you did earlier, and you got out. So you could have done that. You could have done a Wavedash here and then into a shield, and then shield grab the down tilt. Would have been pretty good instead of doing this run up grab timing. But I would have probably just done Wavedash shield is probably what I'd done. It's kind of like when Mark down tilts you. You can just try and like get close enough to like try and shield grab them. All right, let me open up a game that was pretty relevant. Not the second game, obviously, but this game was pretty good too. Let me just look at my notes.
I played. This is the only game that I felt like I played well.
Yeah. Do you have any questions while I like check over, see if I've missed anything?
Yeah. What's your proponent of what to do off grabs? You just down tilt or down throw tech chase rest is you think the best way to go about it?
When you can get a down throw, you should always just go for the down throw in terms of they're going to land on the platform. That's perfect. Especially on Yoshis. You should always down throw on Yoshis to get them on the platform because tech chase rest is easier on that stage with down throw. So down throw is the default, but sometimes you can't get a down throw into a tech chase rest. So I would just go for up throw and try and shark. Sharking is pretty hard against Sheik on controller. On the box, I'm realizing it's pretty easy, but besides the point. So we beat like Sheik like in the air really high. She has like the opportunity to like stall a little bit in the air, or she has the opportunity to like just come down with a forwarder after like an up throw. Then it gets to the point where you have to kind of like 50-50 what she's gonna do. But sometimes you can cover both with like an early up air to try and cover her jumping or whatever, or stalling in the air, or do a falling up air to try and cover her there like forward airing to the ground or something like, or nairing to the ground out of the up throw. It's kind of like what you notice like the Sheik is doing in terms of their habits, because it's kind of hard to do that covering both option. So yeah, sometimes you back throw when you're at the ledge. Back throw is pretty good when the percent's higher, but sometimes they just snap the ledge and it's like, why did you even back throw at all when you could just up throw and tried like shark and just get like an up air, or tried to down throw and then like tech chase. So it depends on the situation. Sometimes forward throws the best. Honestly, use all the throws in this one, but the default is down throw for sure. Because sometimes even when you get like a down throw and it's not gonna lead to a tech chase rest, sometimes the Sheik will just mess up the DI and then DI in, and then you just get a free rest on the down throw. So it's always perfect in that situation too. Let me see. Okay, let me go to the Dreamland game. Let's see. Somewhere in here. Because I think I talked about most of the stuff on the Yoshi's game. I just wanted to talk about Sheik on the top platform, because he does go into the top platform here at one point. But let me see. He's gotta do it in a second. I feel like I saw the situation go up so much on the stage. Because besides that, I've like talked about most of what I want to talk about. Alright, maybe when you get the stocks leads, he goes on the top platform. Okay, he's going on the platforms more, so maybe we'll go to the top platform this time. Okay. Try again. On the platforms. Trying to get him on the top platform. Well, I can still talk about what you do on Dreamland. Dreamland, it's a little bit hard to get to the correct range, like hitting them on the platform. So it becomes more of a difficulty. But you also have to think about when with Dreamland, yes, it's hard to attack this, but at the same time, it's like it covers less space, if that makes sense, because
yeah, because there's more.
Yeah, there's more ground. So like right here, you're safe, but like if this was the same situation, like you squeeze the platforms and everything and squeeze the stage, like this would have been a threat zone for you. You would have been needled here. So this was like a good space to chill in. So you can chill in like this spot, whereas on the other stages you can't. So you can just sit here and then try to like bait out the needle throwing, like trying to jump when you're trying to jump here, just bait that out and like chill like Hungrybox did that one time. Or you could have just like tried to like go for it, if that makes sense too. Like I was saying, just don't go to the top platform because he just goes right down.
Yeah, he just goes down. Yeah. Stop doing that.
Okay, I need him to go to the top platform. I don't know why he's not going. Dang. Well, I can just talk about it regardless. So, okay. Oh, he actually goes to the top platform. That's crazy. So the way to beat the top platform play is sometimes you get him to the top platform with like an up air or something like that. So then it's like a tech chase situation, which is a little bit different. But if you have enough time to hit him before he techs or when he techs, then you can just try and upper him. But since he goes to the top platform of his own free will, then it gets a situation where you have to hit him from the side with a back air. So if he was facing you, it's a little bit scarier to try and back air. But at the same time, if let's say he's facing you here and he's threatening forward air, you can try and back air, and then you notice him start running off. Then you just drift away and then just punish the forward air directly. If he tries to like stay up there on the top platform, you try and back air. He's chilling up here. You just do an up air. You can do a falling up air a lot of the time because the falling up air will catch the shield drop, or you can do a rising up air to try and catch them jumping or something like that, or just staying up there in general. So you do back air, tries to hit here, and then just do an up air here, and then if it doesn't hit, you can just fade away. You can falling up air to try and hit a shield drop, and that's like basically how you hit the top platform. Sometimes they'll just run off the platform and go to this platform, and it's basically perfect for you because then you can just be like, oh, I go for a backer here. She starts running. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just follow her, just keep running this way. Like keep drifting this way as Sheik is running, and then you're just gonna hit her when she like lands on the platform eventually. So that's basically how you beat the top platform. It's not that great for Sheik. It's pretty bad comparatively to most characters against Puff on the top platform. But let me just double check. I think you understand the edgeguard flowchart. Like I said, as long as you just like rest every time on the edgeguard. I think it comes out the Yoshi's game, but there is situations where you probably seen it, where like Sheik just like lands on the ledge, even if you do the perfect edge guard, like you do the get up right when she poofs. In that situation, you just want to roll, because that means that Sheik was close enough to the ledge to have a mix-up to go to ledge, which will happen sometimes, depending on spacing. So when you notice that Sheiks will just go for the ledge, even if you do the perfect, like, get-up edge guard, just start rolling, and then they'll just be dead, which is crazy. And you just get a free stock without even having to rest. So that is just something you have to just notice that the Sheik is doing. It's hard to tell in the moment to roll, unless you've seen them do it in that spot already. So it's kind of like a recognition thing, like kind of like the mix-ups that she has, like with the forward air and up air. It's kind of the same thing. But yeah, that's like pretty much it. If you have like any other questions, then
No, I think that about covers it. I'm gonna have to rewatch the VOD on this one.
yeah. I'll try and upload it like pretty soon. So probably today.
No rush.
All right. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. So thanks for getting the lesson.
Yeah, that was great. I learned a lot.